So as most of you know by now, yesterday we received our first major update for the first Descendant. They did not disappoint. We had a ton of information given to us, and once again they are doing another update tomorrow, August 2nd. So in today's video, we're going to take a few moments, go over some of the details, and as always, answer some of the questions you've sent the channel. Alright my YouTube family, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and today is all about bringing you up to speed on all things the first Descendant. As always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor, hit that like button really quick, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things in regard to this game, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, first of all, you can see they put out a message earlier this morning, and they said the following. Descendants, we are preparing for hotfix 1.0.6 tomorrow, August 2nd. We will fix bugs including the missing Battle Pass supply coin and the reduced monster spawns in the Fortress Outskirts mission. Thank you for your patience. And once again, the game is showing us that when they have the ability to put a change into the game as quickly as possible, that's exactly what they're doing. And I say that because I know there are issues people are having and they've been having since launch, but keep in mind, and I think many of you would agree with this, we have seen more fixes and changes in this game in the first 4 weeks than other games can put out easily in 4 months. You know, they have all hands on deck. They seem to truly be listening to the player base. And if the game continues to follow this pattern, I think it's more than safe to say that we can actually have a game that can withstand more than a month or two of popularity, you know? As of my recording this video, we are sitting at over 103,000 players at the moment. Today's peak was over 116,000. And you can see that ranks us 12th on the Steam charts at the moment. And remember, my friends, this does not include console players. There are a ton of people playing this game right now. However, when we make our way to the top 100 selling games right now by revenue, you can see at the very top, the first Descendant holds the #1 spot, and one thing I've talked about at the channel multiple times over the last 4 weeks is the fact that if this game continues to listen to the player base, people are going to naturally want to spend money on their characters. Let me know your thoughts, my friends. And by the way, that is the reason the game is able to implement certain things so quickly. They see this as a moneymaker. You know, people are playing the game. For players like myself, I have no financial obligation to jump into this thing. I bought the season pass, I bought a certain skin for Ajax, but I've spent like 20 bucks. And to be honest with you, I have no problem doing that. You know, I love looter shooters. I'm here for the grind. I'm not worried about spending money to speed things up. That does not concern me. And at the same time, a lot of people want to spend that money. That is their choice. And as you've heard me say before, remember, every single Descendant in this game can be farmed naturally. Is the grind insane? Yes. Do you have to have an, incredible RNG sometimes? Absolutely. But it can be obtained without having to spend real world money. That actually takes us to talking about the new Descendant Luna. I've been hearing from a lot of players out there saying that researching Luna has been pretty damn easy. You had no problem whatsoever getting everything you needed. What has your experience been like, my friends? Let me know in the comment section. Now, as far as the gameplay for Luna is concerned, people really seem to be in one of two camps. You either love it or you hate it. There's no gray area. So this could be a character that you may want to play on a regular basis. For me, I'm really not sure as yet. I have not unlocked her, but once I do, I'll give it a spin, see what happens. Let me know your thoughts, my friends. And as always, questions, comments, or feedback, let me know as well, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Now, another detail that's been brought to my attention since yesterday's patch is apparently Greg's Reverse Fate is a monster right now. It's absolutely lights out. If you have not researched this weapon, I recommend you do it right away. And remember, one thing the game's talked about multiple times as recently as yesterday is the fact that build diversity is incredibly important. They are going to systematically continue to go through these weapons, and I'll obviously bring you any more updates they pass along. Now that is going to take us to going over some of the highlights from yesterday's patch notes, specifically the developer comments. We're going to jump right into it, my friends, starting with modules. You can see they increased the poison range of Freyna's Room Zero Trauma from 4 meters to 7 meters. They increased the maximum scaling range of Valby's skills from 200 to 250%. They also did that same increase for Blair's skills as well. They changed the blizzard generated by VS's Glacial Cloud module to be triggered instantly without delay. They changed Valby's Albion Academy Cadet head skin to be dyeable. Changed the incoming final damage to incoming damage modifier in the description of the safe recovery module. Next we have equipment. They added a feature in game options that enables some single shot and burst weapons to fire automatically when the fire button is pressed and held down. They increased the enduring legacy critical hit damage from 1.7 to 2.3. And you can see they also made some major adjustments to other weapons as well. However, one thing I'd like to point out really quick as we move on, as you can see at the very bottom, equipment can now be dismantled at once with no quantity limit, and this is something people have been asking about since pretty much the game came out. And in my opinion, even though it took about 4 weeks to get there, we are starting to see certain changes players have been asking for. And not only are we seeing these things on a frequent basis, but it truly seems like they are listening to the community. And one final thing I'd like to mention as we move on is I've been receiving your messages over the last 24 hours asking, are they going to be making changes to other Descendants as well? The answer is yes, my friends, and again, we will continue to see these over the next coming weeks and months. Now at this point, we're going to jump right back into the dev notes, starting at the top. The team is currently working on Season 1 and Season 2 updates, while also responding to improvement issues discovered during the live service. Today I'm going to talk more about how we plan to improve the current state of the First Descendant rather than about Season 1 and Season 2 updates. First of all, we have drop rate improvement plans. I know this is a topic that bounces around our community on a daily basis. He says while all of our drop rate systems are operating fairly in the First Descendant, we do understand that some players are struggling with the drop rate. To address this, we're planning to introduce a new system where you can more easily get the item you want after repeating the activity a certain amount of times. The First Descendant has various missions and amorphous materials with chance-dependent rewards. We are considering how we can effectively take care for the drop rate issue in such diverse reward system, and we are working to create a farming structure that players will be happy with. Now, the main reason I wanted to address this portion of the notes is because when the notes first came out, they had the word guarantee on this page. I don't have a screenshot of that, but again, they said we guarantee this and that. They realized later it was once again one of those translation issues. And you can see about an hour and a half after these update notes came out, they had to issue a statement saying we have corrected some mistranslated expressions in the drop rate improvement plans that occurred during the translation process. We sincerely apologize for any confusion caused. Now, one thing we talked about last time this happened is the importance of the team at the First Descendant making sure they have certain fail-safes in place so this does not happen, because it just looks really, really bad. Again, because they're attached to Nexon, people are going to be leery of anything this game says, or more importantly, anything this game does wrong is going to be completely and totally dissected, so I really hope they figure this out soon, because I don't want to see anything happen that doesn't need to. You know, any drama is no good drama. So next we have the topic of disposing of leftover items, and he says next is an update on items that are piling up in your consumables, and there is currently no way to dispose of blueprints for Descendants and weapons that you've already completed, so there are cases where players are getting multiple copies of blueprints they already own during the farming process. He continues by saying we have been listening to the community who have told us that there needs to be a way to dispose of these unwanted items. While we could consider simply converting them into gold or Kuiper, we want to reward you with more value for the time you have put into the game. To resolve this, the dev team is planning a system to dismantle leftover items to get byproducts and a rotating shop system where you can exchange those byproducts for something of value. This will allow the items you obtain to have a greater value in the game. My fellow Descendants, this is exactly what we're looking for. And as I've said earlier, if the game can continue to listen to the player base, make these minor adjustments that just makes the game better, we are definitely heading in the right direction, my friends. Last but not least, we're going to talk about supporting build diversity. And they finish off by saying it's a lot of fun for us to see the variety of builds being posted in the community lately. We love seeing you try so many different builds and are amazed by the unexpected ways you've evolved them. We hope for more builds to exist in the First Descendant, and we want an environment where players are free to experiment with different builds. However, we found it very difficult to take advantage of loadouts after assigning socket types, which goes against our goal of experimenting with different builds freely. As a result, the dev team is planning to provide an environment where completely different builds can be created by assigning each loadout with a different socket type. We hope that this will help you experiment with different builds without feeling overwhelmed. So once again, my friends, and I love saying this is another big win for the community. Now, as I start to wrap this video up, I noticed they actually did give us an announcement a little bit earlier today. They said, "Greeting Descendants, we would like to inform you of the upcoming changes and schedule regarding the adjustment of the account reset grace period when linking accounts." Now, that is scheduled to take place 1 week from today on Thursday, August 8th with hotfix 1.0.7 patch. They say the grace period of account reset when linking accounts will change from 15 days to 3 days. And if the account is not linked, it will immediately be deleted upon account reset. Now at this point, I do not have enough information in regard to what we can actually expect or how this is going to work, but I promise you over the next few days I will do my research and bring you a video as quick as I can. With all that being said, my friends, I'm going to start to wrap this up. I want to thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. For those of you that have been asking, I will be bringing you farming videos very soon. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.